But I do want to go on record as saying that it's not just about the tools. It certainly is about the leadership. And we know that we have to have leaders that understand the tools to create a lean environment and help motivate and transform a culture. So we created a series of boot camp classes, and they've spanned a number of years now. The first boot camp series talked about the 5 Toyota principles that we just talked about. It really introduced them the concepts of flow and pull and customer value. And before the second class was launched, we had this whole set of intellectual property that had not previously existed. So what we wanted to do was give our leaders the knowledge that they needed to be able to ask the right questions and know if what was coming back makes sense. Or even better, make sure that they could walk through their operations and understand all the tools that were visual at their disposal to understand what was going on. We wanted them to understand that we were going to a new day of business where being a leader didn't mean just managing chaos, but really celebrating and making problems visible and helping the team solve those problems in a way that those problems wouldn't come back. So in Lean Boot Camp 2, what we did was we talked about some of the underlying principles and not only introduced them to the tools, but talked about the connection between the tools and how if they were used together, they created a very powerful system. One of the things that we really wanted to make sure they understood was some of the fundamentals of a lean system and how they work together. And without these, some of the higher order principles really don't work. So we taught people how to value stream map, how 5S and safety plays in, total productive maintenance, quick changeover, and standard work. And we talked to them about PDCA, the Plan, Do, Check, Act process, and how it's just very fundamental to make sure that you're using your resources wisely for your biggest problems, solving problems in a way where you're getting to root causes, and making sure that you've got the visibility and the sustainment processes to audit and make sure that those problems don't come back. And finally, we taught them about flow and all of the principles and tools associated with creating flow, from level production to a plan for every part, takt time planning, pull systems, and continuous flow. And all of you that are on a lean journey know that it's in flowing where we really see our benefits to productivity, inventory reduction, and improved customer service. So we set up these classes for our leadership team, and we absolutely never had to use the word mandatory. We introduced them, we advertised them, and our entire leadership team came. This is Don Washkowitz, again, our president and CEO. He was a customer of our Lego robot simulation factory, and he got to experience what it was like to go from batch production to single-piece flow firsthand. We also taught them that you can't just know the concepts broadly and generally, but sometimes you have to understand the math and the details, because that's where some of the opportunities really lie. And so one key point of learning was when we showed the leadership team that you can actually predict the number of people that it takes to build a product. And so we were very happy that we had cleared up that whole cycle time, takt time issue through our lean language in our Parker Lean system previously. But making that connection between the tools in the lean system and getting great business results was really key for us. And we have many members of our leadership team now that ask to see standard work and operator balance charts when there are issues with overtime or increased staffing that's requested. And it is in the details. These are 2 of our group presidents who run very large businesses for our company, and they're actually building bridges out of Legos. Yes, we use a lot of Legos. I'm sure all of you do too. It's a standard training tool in the lean world. But what they're learning is how seconds can add up into big dollars on the P&L. And this is a picture from Lean Boot Camp 3, where our VP of Supply Chain and, again, our president have just gone through a time study on all the elements associated with our customer service team at one of the sales companies. So they're developing the standard work and determining the number of associates that we need to conduct the work there. We know that in any change, there's going to be a whole spectrum of leaders involved. We're going to have some people who are self-selectors and really struggle with the change. So they'll select themselves out of the organization because they either don't believe in the change or just incapable of making the change. And then you've got people on the right hand of the spectrum who are really enthusiastic evangelists, and they're ready to go and they're ready to transform things. And so what we wanted to do was to make sure that our leadership team had the opportunity and the confidence to move towards the right of the spectrum. And when they say you need to go to Gemba, we go to Gemba. We go to Gemba a lot. I do have a lot of frequent flyer miles, as does our entire senior leadership team. This was at a plant in Haverhill, Massachusetts, with our CEO and Lee Banks, who's here with us today, one of our senior operating VPs. And we're learning how that team has used Parker Lean System to see what the challenges are in their business and really improve their business. So we go and we see how well our tools are being implemented within our factories, and we teach. And we're very proud to say that we have a lot of operations leaders, much like Carlo Tressi here. He's a business unit manager at one of our valve plants in a little town in Italy. And he's enthusiastically telling a team of our lean people from around the world how Parker Lean Systems has helped him transform his business. And we have more and more people like Carlo every day. And we're very proud of the team and how they've adopted this and are continuing to learn to see. So now you've met our leadership team and have a feel for the level of commitment that they have to drive improvements through Lean and our WIN strategy.